This is Ben from Goat Whore, and you're watching Bloodstock TV.
Okay, next up on Bloodstock TV, we're having a chat to Anton from DEFCON 1. How you doing, my friend?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good, good. So you just played on the Sophie stage, and how did that go?
Oh, it was great. Great crowd, singing Warface and pits going and everything. I was over the moon with it.
I'm so gutted I couldn't get over that.
Right.
Warface, one of my favourite songs.
Excellent.
Warface, 10 Bullets, they're my
Now
just
both in.
anthems. Missed them, but hey,
Yeah.
I'll catch you next time. So,
Aye,
so obviously you guys have had a bit of a change around, had a bit of a sort of tumultuous time of it over the last year or so.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah. So, but you've got a new lineup now and that.
Yeah.
So how's that all fitting together?
It's going really well. Carl, the guitar player, used to be my tech when I was in Venom. Even though he's the guitar player, he still did me drums for us, you know.
Yeah.
And he's known Danny the singer for forever. And we had a bass player called Bry, and he does a lot of wrestling. And he's got his own business wrestling, and he got offered this big event this weekend. And we were like, look, we'll get someone to fill in for you and stuff. So basically what he's done is he's left, and a kid called Andy played today, Andy Malby. He plays in a band called Osaya. He mixed and mastered our last two songs.
Okay.
And we only had 2 rehearsals with him, and he nailed it.
Yeah.
You know, it was great. I was
Good.
over the moon with it.
Yeah. So
No, it's going well.
you played here a few years ago with DEFCON 1. So
Yeah.
what do you remember from that?
Oh, it was, I loved it. It was a long time ago, 2011 I think it was, yeah. We were supposed to play, we've been booked twice after that, but shit's happened and we've not played, but
Yeah.
I've been itching to get back. And the funny thing is, last night when we got here, as I walked into the Serpent's Lair, it was like I was here last week. It's so friendly, and there's so many people that I know here, and it's great.
It is just lovely. It's like coming home, isn't it?
It is.
I still have suspicions that, you know, all these build pics that they put up all week, I think it stays here all year round. I think they just make them fake. They've got Adams going around some empty fields somewhere else. I think this is here all year round. And they kick us all out on Monday and they all live here for the year, I reckon. This is all their little castle. So.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But it has got a special atmosphere though, Bloodstock, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. And it's just, without sounding horrible, there doesn't seem to be any dickheads. Everyone's so friendly and nice.
Other than me. So you've got quite a musical heritage in your family. I remember when I first spoke to you, I didn't realise that you'd been in Venom and things like that. But your brother's Kronos, and then your other brother's in Prefab Sprout.
Yeah.
Like what?
He was a drummer in Prefab Sprouts and the Kane Gang. He's played in Angelic Upstarts. He did an Angelic Upstarts album. He's got gold and platinum discs on his wall. I still need to aspire to that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
That'd be impossible these days.
Yeah. And wasn't it him that got you into the drumming as well?
Yeah. Basically, what happened is he moved to London and he left his kit behind. And I said, "Can I just tinker about on it?" And it was, if you break anything, you pay for it.
Yeah.
So I had his kit set up in my bedroom, and honestly, when you couldn't move, those fucking cymbals above our head. But I got it set up, and I used to just play the drums, and every time he came up from London, he would say, "You got to walk before you can run." So he would like try and get us to play along to stuff like Michael Jackson and things like that. And I'm like, "No, I want to play fucking Tommy Lee." And he was like, "But you need this before, you know." So he showed it. I'm self-taught, apart from him pointing me in directions and stuff, you know. But yeah, he goes, and I swapped him my Steve Vai guitar, which I wish I still had.
Yeah, because you were a guitarist, weren't you?
Yeah, I still play guitar.
I think I've seen you playing. I don't know where I would have seen you playing guitar, but I think I've seen you somewhere playing guitar somewhere. But your other Bloodstock history that you've got here as well. I remember being here in 2014 and just sort of like going, "Is that Anton on the drums with Down?" It's like, how the hell did that come about?
I've known Phil for years, right back to Pantera days, and every time they come over, I always go and see him. And I've done it before. I was in Glasgow a good few years ago, and he was like, "You're getting up to play Bury Me in Smoke," and I'm like, "When was the last time I played that song?" You know what I mean? So I was like, "Have you got it?" So on my phone, and I was just playing it over and over again, and it was like, "There's the drumsticks, go." Fuck. You know, at least when I played here, I knew the song a bit better.
Yeah.
But no, it was an honour to get up and play with those guys. Being a Pantera fan, and I love Corrosion, and I love fucking Crowbar. So it was like, I'm getting up there and there's all these people in front of me, and I'm thinking, fuck, this is incredible, you know?
Yeah, the main stage is a bit special, and
It is.
we're allowed to sort of sneak on there a little bit, and when you're looking out, it's just like, oh my God, I mean, like I say, just from looking, but to play to that must just be amazing.
Yeah, and Phil just had them in, and it was great to see the fuckers.
Yeah.
Great audience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So getting back to DEFCON 1 then, so you got some new music out. We played a little bit on Bloodstock Radio as well. So so what's the plans with that? Because I know, I remember you saying about the way you brought it out. You weren't too sure whether to do an EP, whether to do an album and that sort of thing. So why did you make those decisions? What do you think?
Well, we just wanted to put Martyr out, because when we recorded it, we were so happy with it. I was like, I don't want to wait. I want people to hear the new lineup.
Yeah.
So we quickly put Martyr out, and then when we played a festival in Birmingham, HRH Metal.
Yeah, I was there for that one.
We were talking to the bands, and a lot of them were saying, we just slowly feed songs out, or some bands do like EPs, and there wasn't many people doing just albums. So I thought, well, why don't we concentrate on an album, but every now and again just feed a song out? And then with 225 being very different to Martyr, with all the melodies and the singing, it was like, let's give people another flavour of what to expect. Because Martyr's just full on, and then you've got 225 with a nice clean guitar and a clean vocal and stuff. So I wanted that out just because it's another flavour of what we do, you know.
Absolutely. I mentioned it earlier very much about the tumultuous time that you've had it. Yeah, I could tell from what you were putting up that really hit you hard, didn't it? And I think you were considering whether to carry on with it, because you've got to start again from scratch, really, don't you?
You do.
So how have you done that, and how has that worked out?
Well, I've got some friends, and especially my oldest brother. He said, you started DEFCON 1 20 years ago. It was 98, I think, I started it. And we've had loads of different lineups, but everyone was kind of familiar with them because we had the record deal with Scarlet Records.
Yeah.
And he says, why let it go? You've replaced everybody over the years so many times. This must be what, 8th singer or something?
Yeah.
You know, and we've had different guitar players, different bass players. And I thought, you're right. You know, I've worked hard to get the name out there.
Yeah.
And I do honestly think the Venom connection helped. Like when we first played here, the first time I spoke to Vicky, with the Venom connection, you know what I mean? It's like a lot of bands, they play the Metal to the Masses, then they move to the Sophie stage. We just went straight in at the Sophie stage, and there's got to be a reason for that.
Yeah.
And it's the same with when we got the record deal with Scarlet. The lads that run that record label are Venom fans. So it's a bit obvious how we got the deal.
Yeah.
And some people that used to be in the band might disagree with that, but it just
helps.
It does.
Just
you
helps.
know, if I put a press release out now, and I didn't mention anything about a previous band, the first thing they'll write is ex-Venom drummer.
Yeah.
They just do.
Yeah.
And they do that for every band though, you know? Like, you look at someone like Duff McKagan, when he wasn't in Guns N' Roses, if he did something, it would be ex-Guns N' Roses stuff. And they do it for everyone.
Yeah. Well, I can honestly say, hand on heart, I had no idea that you were in Venom, and I loved DEFCON 1 when I first heard him. So on the Headbangers Balls album, that you had the song on that.
Right,
So just like, I loved it from the beginning. So I can say that it had nothing to do with Venom for me, mate. So that's all good.
No, excellent.
Cool. So you're in for the rest of the weekend then?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So are you looking forward to seeing them?
Most of all, the Scorpions.
Yeah.
As I've loved the Scorpions for years, and when I was a kid and they toured, the bands used to tour. Like, sometimes you had like 3 bands to choose from in 1 week, and you could only afford to go and see one. And I never got to see the Scorpions. I was in for that sound check, and a drum rise, I was a big scorpion with the tail and everything, and then they kicked me out.
Yeah.
So I missed the gig. And they don't tour this country very often.
No.
So it'll be a night. I'm gutted if I missed that.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Cool.
Just some classic. The Love Drive album. Every song on that album is just classic.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, I hope you enjoy it, and I'm glad that the set went well for you today, mate.
Yeah, thank you very much, and nice to meet you again.
All right, nice one, mate. Cheers. That's Anton from DEFCON 1 on Bloodstock TV.